Another Matty newsbreaker item, Connor, is ESPN's Jordan Renan reporting Sam Darnold and Russell Wilson are near the top of the Giants' list for veteran quarterback options. On DraftKings, the Giants are now pick with the Titans to draft first overall, so it seems like there's a lot swirling around what they might do at quarterback.
And as you've also highlighted, Jay, Cam Ward is the runaway favorite to be the number one pick. Everything is kind of pointing to the Giants looking for the Darnold name. Surprised me, and Jordan's very good covering the Giants.
Can he go back to New York?
I have always heard that was not ideal, like that they'd prefer other places and other options, including staying in Minnesota. So that name surprises me. I thought more of a cost-effective veteran, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and trade up to number one for Cam Ward. That's, I think, the Giants' plan right now.
What I had heard was prior to the Stafford going back to L.A., one of the rumors I had heard was that the Giants were going to trade for Stafford and trade up to get number one. The thinking being, and this is in the column, go check it out, 25 biggest rumors I heard at the NFL Combine. It's available on NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com. I'm a company man. But what I had heard the plan is that, look, the Giants coaching staff, Joe Schoen, their general manager, their head coach Brian Daboll, they need to win this year to keep their jobs. They're on the hot seat. And so they don't want to kind of mess around with a rookie quarterback and go through those struggles, especially in a very tough division. A veteran quarterback gives them a chance to win this year. But they also know that a veteran quarterback, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, who's kind of the clubhouse leader, if you will, in terms of who's going to the Giants as their quarterback, or Sam Darnold or Russell Wilson, one of these other veterans that are out there, whoever it is, that's not the long-term answer, so they do need to develop someone. So I do think that's very much on the table. The Giants trading up to get number one and also signing potentially Aaron Rodgers. What I heard, and I agree with you, Jordan does a great job. Jordan Renan does a great job covering the Giants, has for a number of years. But I heard that that's where Rodgers wants to go and that's their number one target. Rodgers wants to play next year. Aaron Rodgers wants to play next year, and there's only so many open chairs. Like, there's just not a lot of, right? The three open gigs at the moment, and I'm not counting Pittsburgh because I think it's going to be Justin Fields, right? So it's really the Giants, the Titans, and the Raiders. And it doesn't feel like with Brady and it just doesn't feel like the Raiders are going to be a fit, right?
I think that's the Darnold spot, in my opinion.
It could be.
Darnold, Raiders.
Because they would commit to him, where these other places are like, we also want a rookie. And Darnold needs to go somewhere that commits to him.
Darnold's in this weird spot, and I didn't read the rundown, as you guys know. So, I mean, we can get into that if you want. But Sam Darnold, Sam Darnold's in this weird no man's land.
Yep.
Because the Vikings want to start J.J. McCarthy next year. So they didn't franchise tag him, right? And that was one of the things that was in my column that we talked about last week on the Combine show, that they're not going to franchise tag him unless they knew they could trade him. And there was no one that said to them, yes, definitely, we will. If you franchise tag him, we will then trade for him. So they let the franchise tag deadline expire. So he is a free agent. And so, like, from what I heard from a pretty good source, was that Darnold's agents are sort of like, hey, where's an offer? And the Vikings are like, we don't want to insult you. Like, you should be earning $40 million a year, and we're just not going to pay you that kind of money. We have J.J. McCarthy. We have other guys that we need to take care of. Like, we don't want to insult you. And Darnold's people are sort of like, make us an offer. You know what I mean? We don't have an offer. Yeah, right. Not that desperate, but just a little bit like, so it's just weird
not
because
the $10 million
the Vikings,
original.
the Vikings I think the Vikings would be willing to bring him back on a backup quarterback contract. But after the year that Sam Darnold just had, he can't take that. So he's in this weird no man's land. And this is what I wrote in the Combine. I do think if the dominoes fall a certain way, that there's very much a chance that Sam Darnold, despite having an unbelievable year last year, doesn't have a starting gig to start the season. Because you could certainly see a scenario where Aaron Rodgers goes to the Giants, where Russell Wilson goes to the Raiders and reunites with Pete Carroll, and then the Titans take Cam Ward, and that's their starter.
Right.
Like that's certainly within the realm of possibilities of happening. And then you're just like, well, where's Darnold going?
Thing for Darnold, too, if you look at Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, if whatever teams those two are on, if the teams start out 0-2 and they've drafted a quarterback as well, you know it's going to start happening then. For Sam Darnold, again, you mentioned it, his year last year, like if you get Sam Darnold, like you're going for it. You're really trying to win, So and there shouldn't be, you shouldn't be looking over your shoulder for a rookie quarterback because you're 27, 28 years old.
Yep.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.